My name is Bailey Dennis, and I'm going to be talking about the misappropriation of Native American music. Native Americans have faced many struggles over the past few hundred years. Disease, forced relocation, and war have decimated the native population throughout the course of Native American history. Today, they face a very different threat, but still equally dangerous to the survival of their culture and history. This threat is the destruction of their cultural identity and native customs. This has been done throughout American history, whether it's been misrepresentation in movies, inaccurate historical representation, or simply characterizing Native Americans. Today, one of the greatest threats is the misappropriation of American Indian culture in popular music and media. This misappropriation takes many forms. Almost every child grows up playing cowboys and Indians or dressing up as Indians for the reenaction of the Thanksgiving, or even just dressing up as an Indian for Halloween. But primarily, we'll be focusing on the misappropriation in music. One term that does a good job of describing this new attack on Native Americans is called singing redface. This term can be used when the quote, a non-native person takes on the racial archetype of a Native American character through song. Even in seemingly harmless cartoons such as Peter Pan and Pocahontas, this stereotype of Native Americans is all too present in the music of these cartoons. It is easy to overlook the racist undertones present in these songs. One seemingly harmless and fun song that we should all be familiar with is Peter Pan's What Makes the Red Man Red.
The pan, big chief. You now, little flying eagle. Pale-faced brother, all about red man.
Good. This should be most enlightening.
What makes the red man red?
When did he first say up? Why does he ask you how?
Why does he ask you how?
Why does he ask you how? What the Indian didn't know, only that he know now. But the Indian he sure learned us, and it's all from asking how.
So as we can see, this song asks questions such as, why is the red man red? Why does he ask you how? And why does he say ugh? The Indians in song are also heavily stereotyped with the use of feather headbands, broken English, and red skin. The only English without overly red skin is the young and beautiful Indian princess, who is immediately infatuated with the young white Peter Pan. The video also features the whooping of Peter Pan as he flies around in his feather headdress. He had just been bestowed the name of Flying Eagle by the noble and stoic Indian chief. This may seem harmless, but it promotes a false identity of Native American culture and replaces it with a cheap stereotype. This can best be defined as cultural confusion. The true Native American identity is drowned out by all of the false stereotypes that have been promoted for so long. Even the most well-meaning people can be lost in what is true or fake, and accidentally promote a racist depiction of Native American people. This can be seen in any souvenir shop in the West, a figure of a noble Indian with his feather headdress. While well-meaning, this only takes away from true Native American culture and further confuses and muddies the line between Native American culture and cultural confusion. Another important term is racial antipathy. This can best be described as the negative connotation and even hatred that's used to describe Native Americans. In the 1800s, Philip Henry Sheridan best described this attitude by saying, "The only good Indian is a dead Indian." This was the prevailing attitude for many Americans during this time. This attitude would be used to support the Manifest Destiny and Western expansion, as well as the forced relocation and murder of countless Native Americans. Sheridan's position as a general shows that this was truly the prevailing attitude and the destruction that racial antipathy would cause. The attitude toward Native Americans can also go far the other way. When this happens, it can be best described as idealized sympathy. This can best be described as when music relating to Native Americans takes an overly sympathetic tone. These songs can be equally as harmful to Native American identity as those that are antipathetic in nature. These songs still portray natives in an inauthentic and overly simplistic way. One example of overly sympathetic music is Indian Reservation by Don Barton.
We took the whole Cherokee Nation, put us on this reservation, took away our way of life. Tommy Hawk and the golden knife took away our native tongue. Told their boys to welcome.
This song can be equally as harmful. It is a harrowing tale of the loss that many Native Americans had faced. While the song was meant to be a cry for help, it is sung by a white pop star from Warwickshire, England, who is attempting to portray and understand the Native American perspective. This song features lines such as, "They took the whole Indian nation, put us on a reservation," and saying that they, the white man, will never change our heart and soul. This message loses a lot of meaning when it is sung by a white man who has never experienced any of the tribulations he is singing about. This song also simplifies the many Native American experiences as a one-dimensional experience that fits neatly into a song. This is an idealized sympathy of Native American identity that is still harmful to how Native American culture is realized by Americans. This cultural appropriation is a lot bigger than just Native Americans. In fact, it is a large part of the American identity. This larger misappropriation of culture can be seen in the blackface minstrelsy. This was a popular form of American entertainment and was widely popular during much of American history. These shows consisted of white Americans dressed in blackface who characterized African Americans singing and dancing. Today, singing redface is the Native American equivalent of this. Both marginalize and reduce a people to silly songs and entertainment to be enjoyed by the masses. While these depictions of African Americans has been condemned for many years, it has continued to be okay to depict Native Americans in similarly offensive ways. Another important term that needs to be defined and does a good job at encompassing all the previous terms is playing Indian. In his equally titled book, Philip Deloria breaks down how damaging this ideology can be. He talks about how this has been a part of American culture since before the nation was founded. At the Boston Tea Party, the white colonials dressed up as nothing other than Indians. He also talks about how this has been used as a form of escapism by many white Americans. This idealized relationship with nature and the spiritual world has been used by urban Americans to escape their bonds from civilization. This playing Indian by people has helped further promote the cultural confusion of Native American culture. All of this ties into the cultural misappropriation of Native American music and culture. Today, most Americans' idea of what Native American music is completely false. It is close to the song from Peter Pan rather than the complex and wide-ranging artistic forms that Native American truly is. The only way to fix this is to do our best to promote an honest and unbiased interpretation of Native American music. This can be done by listening to the music that is being produced by Native American artists. The drum music of a powwow, the music of the Muskogee Creek stop dance, and even the electronic beats of A Tribe Called Red all promote an honest example of what Native American music is.